300 million euros, 3 superstars, 1 dressing room, 0 chemistry. Right now, at this very moment, Real Madrid, the most successful club in football history, is being destroyed from the inside. Not by Barcelona, not by Manchester City, but by their own players. And what I'm about to reveal will shock you. Because one of these 3 superstars has told the club, it's either him or me. Before I expose which player just declared war on Xabi Alonso and why the manager's job hangs by a thread today at San Mamés, you need to subscribe to Cyberboot. Because in the next 11 minutes, you're going to discover the dressing room betrayal that could end the career of one of football's most respected managers. Someone's getting sacked, and the decision might already be made. Welcome back to Cyberboot, where we expose the stories that mainstream media is too afraid to touch. The power struggles, the egos, and the billion-euro disasters hiding behind the glamour of elite football. Today, we're taking you inside the most toxic dressing room in world football. Real Madrid, the Galacticos, 15 European Cups, a squad worth nearly £1 billion, and yet right now they're falling apart. Xabi Alonso, Champions League winner as a player, tactical genius, the man who led Bayer Leverkusen to an unbeaten Bundesliga title, is on the verge of being sacked. Just months into his Real Madrid reign. How is this possible? Because Real Madrid didn't just sign talented players, they signed 3 players who will not coexist on the same pitch. Kylian Mbappe, the $180 million dream signing from PSG, Vinicius Junior, the Brazilian superstar, Ballon d'Or candidate, the club's crown jewel, Jude Bellingham, the English golden boy, the $103 million generational talent. On paper, this is the most frightening attacking trio since MSN. In reality, it's a tactical nightmare, a psychological powder keg. And today, at the hostile San Mamés stadium against Athletic Club, it might just explode. But here's what nobody is telling you. This isn't about tactics. This isn't about formations or systems. This is about ego. This is about one player who has decided, if the manager won't bend to my will, then the manager has to go. Let me show you how the dream became a disaster. To understand why Real Madrid is imploding, we need to examine the fundamental tactical problem that Xabi Alonso inherited. The 3-headed monster, Kylian Mbappe, prefers to play as a left winger, cutting inside onto his right foot. World-class pace, clinical finishing, but limited defensive contribution. Vinicius Junior plays as a left winger, exceptional dribbler, creator, goal scorer, needs freedom to roam, hates tracking back. Jude Bellingham thrives as a central attacking midfielder, making late runs into the box. Scored 23 goals last season from this position under Ancelotti. Do you see the problem? 2 of them want the same position, and the third needs to occupy the central space that connects them. When Alonso took over in the summer, he inherited this squad and was told by President Florentino Perez, "Make it work. These players are untouchable." The formations Alonso has tried. 4-3-3 with Mbappe left, Vinicius right. Result? Vinicius is uncomfortable on the right. He cuts inside into congested areas. His productivity drops 40%. 4-3-3 with Vinicius left, Mbappe central striker. Result? Mbappe hates playing with his back to goal. He's isolated. His movement is restricted. 4-2-3-1 with all 3 in attacking positions. Result? The midfield is overrun. Opponents bypass the press easily. Real Madrid concede possession in dangerous areas. 4-4-2 diamond with Bellingham at the tip. Result? One of Mbappe or Vinicius has to play as a striker. Neither wants to. Neither is effective there. Every single tactical solution creates a new problem. It's like trying to fit 3 left feet into 2 shoes. And the results? Catastrophic. Real Madrid have dropped points in 5 of their last 8 La Liga matches. They've lost the league lead to Barcelona. Here's my first question for you. If you were Xabi Alonso, which one of these 3 players would you drop to fix the system? Mbappe, Vinicius, or Bellingham? Comment below. I want to see who this community would sacrifice. But the tactical incompatibility is only half the story. Because what's happening in the dressing room is far worse. According to multiple sources close to the club, including reports from Marca, AS, and El Confidencial, The relationship between these three superstars has deteriorated into open hostility. Kylian Mbappe arrived at Real Madrid believing he would be the star, the face of the club, the player around whom everything would be built. But Vinicius Junior was already there, and he's not willing to step aside. Last season, Vinicius finished second in the Ballon d'Or voting. He considers himself the best player at Real Madrid. He's beloved by the fan base. He's the symbol of the club's recent Champions League success. When Mbappe arrived and immediately demanded the number 7 shirt, Vinicius' preferred number, it was the first sign of conflict. Then there's Jude Bellingham, the diplomatic voice, the mature leader, but increasingly frustrated because his role, the position that made him a superstar last season, has been sacrificed to accommodate the other two. Bellingham is no longer the main man. He's been pushed deeper into midfield, asked to do more defensive work, given less freedom. And his goal output has collapsed from 23 goals last season to just 7 this season. The training ground tensions. Sources report that training sessions have become uncomfortable. Mbappe and Vinicius barely speak to each other off the pitch. When tactical drills require them to combine, the chemistry is non-existent. There was an incident 3 weeks ago, unreported by mainstream media, where Vinicius refused to pass to Mbappe during a crucial attacking drill. Alonso stopped the session and confronted Vinicius. The Brazilian reportedly responded, "If he wants the ball, he should make better runs." Alonso was furious. But what can he do? These players are protected by the board. They earn $20 to $30 million per year. They're the club's marketing assets. The manager, meanwhile, is expendable. But here's the twist that changes everything. One of these three players has gone to the Real Madrid board and issued an ultimatum, and it's not who you think. Vinicius Junior has told Real Madrid, "I will not extend my contract if Xabi Alonso remains the manager." Let that sink in. A 24-year-old player, no matter how talented, is dictating to one of the most powerful clubs in world football who should be their manager. According to El Confidencial, Vinicius' representatives met with Real Madrid's board in early March. The message was clear. Vinicius believes Alonso's tactical system does not suit his strengths. He feels undermined, he's unhappy, and unless changes are made, he will not renew his contract, which expires in 2027. Now you might be thinking, so what? Let him leave. No player is bigger than the club. But here's the problem. Vinicius Junior is worth approximately $150, $180 million in the transfer market. He's the club's most marketable player in Brazil and South America. And he's just entering his prime years. Losing him would be a financial disaster, and Real Madrid's board knows it. Xabi Alonso is aware of this ultimatum. According to sources, he confronted the board and said, "If you allow players to dictate managerial decisions, this club will never have stability." The board's response? Silence. Because they know Alonso is right. But they also know that replacing Vinicius is impossible. Replacing a manager? That's easy. So now, every match Alonso manages is a test. Every dropped point is ammunition for his critics. Every tactical failure is evidence that he can't handle the superstars. And today, Real Madrid face Athletic Club at San Mamés, one of the toughest away fixtures in La Liga, a hostile crowd, a team that presses aggressively, a stadium where Real Madrid have historically struggled. If Real Madrid lose today, Alonso's job is finished. The board will have the excuse they need to sack him and appease Vinicius. Here's my second question. Do you think a player should ever have the power to get a manager sacked? Yes or no? Comment below, because what happens today could set a precedent that destroys football. Let's talk about the money, because that's what this is really about. The $300 million failure. Kylian Mbappe, signed for free, but earning $26 million per year. Total cost over 5 years, $130 million. Vinicius Junior, signed for $46 million in 2018, now valued at $150, $180 million. Current salary, $20 million per year. Jude Bellingham, signed for $103 million in 2023. Salary, $12 million per year. Add it all up, Real Madrid have invested approximately $300 million in transfer fees and salaries for these three players. And what have they gotten in return? This season, Lost the La Liga lead to Barcelona, eliminated from Copa del Rey. Struggling in Champions League dressing room civil war manager on the brink of being sacked. This is the most expensive failure in football history. When Barcelona signed Neymar, Suarez, and Messi, they created MSN, the most devastating attack in football history. 122 goals in a single season, a treble. When Real Madrid signed Benzema, Bale, and Cristiano Ronaldo, they created BBC, 4 Champions Leagues in 5 years. But Mbappe, Vinicius, and Bellingham, they can't even figure out how to share the same pitch. Florentino Perez built his presidency on Galacticos signings. He promised the fans a new era of dominance. He spent hundreds of millions assembling this squad, and now it's falling apart. If he sacks Alonso, he's admitting that the project failed, not the manager. He's admitting that signing 3 incompatible superstars was a mistake. But if he backs Alonso and loses Vinicius, he's losing the club's most valuable asset and facing a fan revolt. There's no good option. Every choice leads to disaster. And the decision might be made today at San Mamés against Athletic Club, because if Real Madrid lose, the pressure will be unbearable. The Spanish media will demand Alonso's head. The fans will turn, and Vinicius will have won. So let's talk about today's match. Because this isn't just another game, this is a referendum on Xabi Alonso's future. Athletic Club are one of the toughest opponents in La Liga. They press intensely, they're physical, they defend aggressively, and San Mamés, their stadium, is a fortress. Real Madrid have won just 2 of their last 7 visits to San Mamés. The atmosphere is hostile, the pitch is tight, the referee tends to favor the home side. Does he start all 3 superstars and risk tactical imbalance? Or does he drop one of them and risk a dressing room mutiny? If he drops Mbappe, the French press will crucify him. If he drops Vinicius, the Brazilian will go straight to the board. If he drops Bellingham, the English media will question his judgment. There's no safe choice. Most analysts expect Alonso to start all 3 in a 4-3-3 formation, with Mbappe as the central striker, Vinicius on the left, and Bellingham in midfield. But we've seen this setup before, and it doesn't work. Athletic will press high, force turnovers, and expose Real Madrid's lack of defensive balance. If they score first, the San Mamés crowd will explode, and Real Madrid, already fragile, might collapse. Final question before we wrap. Who do you think will be blamed if Real Madrid lose today? Alonso, Mbappe, Vinicius, or Bellingham? Comment your answer, because someone's getting scapegoated. Here's what this story is really about. Modern football has become so obsessed with star power that clubs forget about team chemistry. Real Madrid looked at Mbappe, Vinicius, and Bellingham and thought, if we sign the best players, we'll win everything. But football doesn't work that way. You can't just throw talent together and expect magic. Barcelona's MSN worked because Neymar and Suarez were willing to sacrifice for Messi. They accepted supporting roles. Real Madrid's BBC worked because Benzema spent years playing second fiddle to Cristiano Ronaldo. But who's going to sacrifice in this trio? Mbappe didn't leave PSG to be a supporting actor. Vinicius won't give up his position. Bellingham's career is being wasted. And Xabi Alonso, he's the fall guy. The manager tasked with the impossible job of making incompatible superstars work together. If he succeeds, the players get the credit. If he fails, he gets sacked. That's modern football. That's the price of Galactico obsession. And today, at San Mamés, we'll find out if the dream is truly dead. So there you have it. The complete story of Real Madrid's superstar implosion, the tactical impossibility, the dressing room war, the ultimatum, and the financial disaster. Before you go, I need 3 things from you. First, smash that subscribe button on Cyberboot right now. We're the only channel that exposes the real stories behind football's biggest dramas. If you want analysis that goes beyond highlights and hot takes, this is your home. Second, hit that like button if you think Real Madrid's Galactico strategy has failed. Your engagement tells YouTube that people want real football journalism, not PR fluff. Third, get in those comments and answer the 3 questions I asked. Which of the 3 superstars would you drop to fix the system? Should a player ever have the power to get a manager sacked? Who gets blamed if Real Madrid lose today at San Mamés? I'm reading every comment. This is your community. Let's debate, discuss, and expose the truth together. The match kicks off soon. Xabi Alonso's future hangs in the balance. One of the greatest midfielders in history might be sacked because three superstars refuse to coexist. This is the price of ambition without planning. This is what happens when ego trumps teamwork. This is Real Madrid's $300 million disaster. And someone, player or manager, is about to pay the price. This has been Cyberboot. Stay tactical, stay informed, and never forget, in modern football, the biggest enemy isn't your rival, it's your own dressing room.